Hey everyone, welcome to the video. So we picked up the second sky shield and now we're gonna pick up some more GBE. And then taking a look at least what I think the easiest kind of hits at 5 ER, maybe a few at 6 ER. At this point we have pretty much all the offense we can get. Are missing that troop health but don't really need it right now since no one has building damage. And we'll check out a few hits. Most of the hits we've been doing is really just flaring from ER to ER. This one, there's a sky shield covering it. So we can still do something a little similar. If you flare right next to these buildings, then they clear a lot of the stuff around the ERs. And since we're getting more GB, we can even art this sky shield. Since we have more GB of our own, we can take all RCs, no need for a rifle, because there is enough for throwing a turret and shock. So right away, dropping all the troops, flaring somewhere in the middle, turret for that boom cannon, and shock over here. At this point, just letting it spread out, because we can't flare this ER no matter what we do. And as everything's about to go down, get the other flare ready. So letting them clear a bit more, then start flaring. It's going to be 5 arts for that sky shield. Can even do a bomb stuff on that top ER. Flare a little early, because you know Rudy's going to go back and finish off that ER. And as the left ER goes down, flare the last one. With any leftover arts. And in this case, pulling a 303. And that's a win. Here we go, another 5 ER. This one has sky shields covering 2 ERs on the left. So we can still art one out, maybe this one, and flare the other ones. We should have enough GB to BART the shield, but just in case, we'll take one rifle. Saves us 8 GB, and distracts that boom cannon. But similar to the hits before, we're not going to worry about that boom cannon. We're going to let Rudy and his wingmen distract it. So starting with one rifle, then Rudy, all the RCs, flaring that boom cannon. And his wingmen should distract the first shot. We'll let them kill a few buildings, then the ER. Once that happens, we can start flaring. So doing that now. One more art for the sky shield, which we'll get now. And then just getting the flares ready. Here we have enough to spare one shock. And for this ER, we're going to flare right next to it, then do a bomb stuff. Hopefully Rudy gets a good angle. There's a chance he hits a machine gun, but we'll see. It looks like he went to the ER, and we'll do a bit slower, but 259. And see if that's good enough. Just 1 second, but looks like a win. And here we got a 6 ER, which I guess we'll have to show too, since we went back for second sky shield, GBE, and Rudy a while back. Some people who skipped all that are already at 6. But I've noticed it's not too much difference in the times. You can aim for around 250, 255 on 6s. This is a pretty common base with 2 sky shields here. But I like hitting a bit similar to 5s, just keeping all the RCs together and flaring ERs. Always starting with the sky shield portion. And just knowing that you have enough GB for one rifle, flare, turret, shock, and bomb stuff. When that's done, you can just flare ERs. So we'll show it here. Starting with one rifle, Rudy and all the troops, flaring right here with a turret, shocking that boom cannon, and doing a bomb stuff. At this point, everyone should clear. If you have GB, you can throw another turret for the other BC. And they should get these ERs down. Can do another bomb stuff. Which whenever you do it, always a chance you can flare early. Because it takes a while for him to do the animation. And after the left ER, you can flare the right. And then the last few. Because Rudy is already ahead, you can do another bomb stuff. And flare a bit early. Shocking that BC. If ever you have an ER with a bit more health left, you can always use arts to finish it off. Otherwise, use the last arts and the last ER. And here we'll get a 257. So a bit tough at the beginning, but once that part's taken care of, I think it's a easy rest of the hit. And it's a win. We'll take a look at the start again. It does look scary with Doom Cannon, BCs under the shield. But it's just knowing the order of dropping everything. If there's ever a boom cannon here, you have to drop the rifle first, wait a second or two. Rudy first is also a big deal, so then his wingman can start distracting stuff. And flaring anywhere where the RCs have a good range for all these buildings. Sometimes it could be the far corner if the sky shield isn't covering it. And before they get there in that range, throwing that turret and one shock. The turret hits a flame first, and because it's damaged, you know he's gonna hit that with his bomb stuff. So there he goes, his wingman flying around, doing more distraction. And I think in this case, only losing one RC to that boom cannon over there, which is why we throw that second turret. So if you get this part nailed down, then the rest of the hit is just flaring ERs. And with that, there's a little bit of skill too, trying to flare at the perfect time where the last shot of the RC finishes it off. But again, there's some leeway. If you flare too early, then you can use some of your arts to finish off that ER. And most times, at least on this base, I've noticed around 250, 255. If you're really fast, closer to 3 minutes. Here we got a 6 ER. Looks like a secret player since there's no building health. Got a lot of offense stats though, troop health and GBE. And like we said before, if we're facing Seekers as a 5, it's sort of an auto loss. You can maybe try a fast hit, but also have to wait until you go 6 ER yourself. Can keep Rudy towards the right side, maybe delay him. And do like 4 RCs in the middle. Because there's no building health, you can art 1 ER. And let's try out that hit. Here we'll do 5 RCs. Can shock that BC. When this ER and mortar are almost down, can drop 2 more on the left. And Rudy and 1 on the right side. 1 turret over here. Get a bomb stuff going for the top right. And now just starting to save GB on some arts. I think it's like 8 arts to take down an ER. So need 2 more. And even though that seems a fast time, pretty sure Seekers should beat that. 314. Yeah, he's gonna get 320 there. So not much we can do, but another reason why eventually we want to go 6 ER next. Here we finally got another 5 ER. It seems like we're matching a lot of 6s, which maybe is a sign. Again, we should go there pretty soon next. But at least on this 5 ER, can do the hit where we just go ER from ER. In this case, maybe starting with this right one. Because we probably want to bar the shield, can take 1 rifle to again save some GBE. And here, maybe not flaring that boom cannon, but a bit in the middle, just so they split and hit both buildings. So starting with that rifle, Rudy and all the RCs, flaring right there, and throwing a shock. Especially since we're right next to machine guns, I think a shock is safe. And not doing bomb stuff just yet, seeing where he's looking if we have a good angle. And that's a good one, onto that ER. As this stuff goes down, we'll flare. Again, 5 arts over here. Also enough for a turret on that doom cannon. As that ER goes down, we'll flare this one. Even some GBE for bomb stuff. And as he's going, gonna flare the last ER. Got really lucky with that last bomb. And one more art, we'll get 303. So at least on 5 ERs looking like 3 minutes, closer to 305. And that's a win. Here we match someone in diamond. And it's a 6 ER, similar kind of base that we've been seeing. So we can do the same kind of hit. Again with one rifle, Rudy, all the RCs. Then sending a flare with a turret, shock, and bomb stuff. So dropping everyone, doing that flare, turret, and a shock. Because it hits the flame first, you can do a bomb stuff and get a good angle. Throw one more turret for that boom cannon, even though usually it still hits one RC. You can do another bomb stuff, and start flaring. Here I'm going to try flaring the right ER first, and then the rest of them. They look around the same distance, especially because RC spread, so enough or close enough to the left ER. Flared a bit early, so we'll do an art. Can do a bomb stuff here. And then the last ER. Looks like we'll get a 3 minute. And hopefully fast enough, unless he's a secret player too. But looks like a win. Get some good stars there, and that's gonna be diamond. So we'll get that chest. And whether or not we stay in diamond is fine. We do get a few extra keys per chest. But the next main step is really saving for 6 ER. Even though it's not much difference in time, a few seconds matters a lot. And you can hopefully slow down or stop those secret players. After 6 ER, there's a few options. Still don't think we need HCs yet, but if we see a lot of people with building damage and rockets, snipers, might be a good chance to get them. It really is easier with that GBE, dropping all the RCs and having enough to flare ERs. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.